Who are we going to put in charge of the subs? Last time we had Esteva. Esteva did a pretty good job, so we'll leave you in charge of the submarines. And I think I'm going to use the submarines basically as spotting. And we're going to put Darla in charge of you. This is going to be the Northern Fleet. And this is going to be the Mediterranean Fleet. And I should have stopped importing as much oil as I was importing a while ago. Never mind. This is going to be commanded by Abrial. That seems reasonable. Then these are... yes, escort. Scouts. Except for one of these cruisers is a mine layer. I can't remember offhand which one. That would be you. I might even set you into a new fleet. So this is going to be recon. This is going to be recon. This is going to be the northern recon. This is going to be southern recon. I'm going to put you in a new fleet just so that you two are close to each other so I can recognize you. And in fact, what I might even do is color code. So, cyan is going to be the Mediterranean. Red's going to be the Mediterranean. So you're going to be cyan. You're going to be green. There we go. So then the Meds and the Meds are going to be based out of there. Good. Because the Dutch are going to have a navy and I am going to need to sink it. Okay, navies are set up. Air forces should still be set up, though we can get you a bit closer now. By a bit closer, I mean much closer. Alright. Let's put them out of their misery.
Écoutez.
Okay, not all of you are training. It's fine. There we go. That's a better number than we were getting before. And... oh, wow. We need to really drop the imports. Assuming a fair amount at the moment, but we can get more in if we need to. Great Britain joins the Community of Nations. Earlier today, the Mexican Republic and Great Britain issued a joint statement that the latter has now been formally granted member status of the Community of Nations. Whether this partnership will be used for offensive or defensive purposes remains to be seen. Ah yes, that famous Mexican-British alliance. How could I have forgotten?
Gardez bon rang.
The Netherlands have capitulated. Napoleon VI has announced the cowardly Dutch nation could no longer withstand the pressure of overwhelming presence of French forces throughout the country. I do still need to take out the Dutchies. They never called them in. I took them too quickly. 45,000 casualties in the time it took them to do less than 1,000. Can I just piece them out? Am I seriously going to have to plan an naval invasion of the East Indies? I hadn't anticipated this. It's already gone over. Yeah. That's true, I do own Vietnam. A heavily puppeted Vietnam. Well, I wasn't really expecting to have to get into a Pacific war, but apparently I'm going to have to. Also, I need to deal with the unrest here. It goes up to 86%. Oh, it's because there's no garrisons there yet, I guess. We are sending in the armoured police. And we have plenty of equipment for the armoured police. Yeah, it's fine. Right, well, naval invasion time. Without any marines. This will be fun. And yeah, I know I lack motorized. We are putting more on. It's just a matter of time. We're slowly getting to the stage where we're fully industrializing. I mean, we have a lot of factories, but lots of them are civilian.
Aux ordres.
Well, you guys may as well go back to training. And I'm going to just leave you guarding the coast, I guess.
Aux ordres.
And then it's going to be you lot who actually go and do the attack. Now, I want you coming down here. Then we'll need to send the Mediterranean fleet. That goes out here. You two head home. We're going to send out the level 2 submarines. All of these guys are going to go convoy raiding. Actually, before we do that, we should set you up in a port, which is going to be here as well. Off you go. Now they've called them in. And now I win. So we get really big bonuses in just taking the Netherlands, so we're going to just take the Netherlands. And then I guess we have to satellite the Dutch East Indies because we can't actually take it. Fine by me. The French East Indies. What a lovely name. After a long and concerted effort to improve cooperation and compliance between our occupation and local civilian authorities, we are now ready to put control of the Netherlands Antilles back into the hands of local government. Sure. That was easy. And you guys can just stay up here.
Attention. Attention.
Cool. Right, so resistance. I only really need to worry about the Netherlands. It's going to go up to 10%. That's fine. That I can deal with. So long as it doesn't go above 23%, we're fine. And then the French East Indies, which is still a lovely shade of orange, are just a straight up puppet. Do they keep their units? No. Well, maybe? They didn't keep their ships or planes, but they kept everything else. And now we have a source of fuel and rubber. So I don't need to be importing this anymore. Sorry, guys. Oi! Oi! Wrong name! Cool. Right. That was easy. So we're currently investing in Syria. After Syria is done, we will be able to reorganize the Dutch, which gets us a massive compliance gain in the Netherlands, which will basically turn them into a compliant puppet in no time, I think. And so the next available war goal is gonna be the mighty British-Mexican alliance. I think you're buying too much rubber. Am I? I had not noticed. Unfortunately, it's either 80 or nothing. It's still just for one factory. The problem with this system, which is very nice, this is what puppets do, it's great, but this also sends their autonomy through the roof. Which is one reason I don't like this system. God, I have so many puppets. Where is that one? Dutch East Indies, here it is. We don't see it yet, but yeah, the subject export to Overlord, because it's 80 at a time, and I can't reduce that, does mean that they're going to have a lot of autonomy. Is it really worth it when I'm just one rubber short? I don't think it is. No. I wish they just sent you like a portion of their rubber. I mean, we're actually getting rubber supplies for free from Africa, which is probably better. Can I turn you into like a collaborationist? What happens if I debraid your stuff? You would become an integrated puppet. Oh, as a puppet, you don't actually send me any factories. As an integrated puppet, you would. Well, we'll leave it for now. This is fine. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Good. You guys can come home. Right, marvellous. Just think of all the spies you can have with those subjects. Puppets don't count for spies. Unfortunately, otherwise, yes, that would be very true. Although, I could start spying on somebody new. Yep, we could definitely start spying on somebody new. Let's start spying on Britain. Is that the best position for you? No, that's better. Huzzah! And are you able to root out resistance throughout the entirety of the Low Countries? I suspect you can. Yes, you can. Perfect. M2 Legal, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome to the Maudlings. Oh, M21 Eagle. Sorry, misread that. M21 Eagle, welcome to the Maudlings. Thank you very much for the support. Here's a quick way to lower autonomy's Lend-Lease convoys and keep them going until you annex them, then all the convoys transfer back to you. Gotcha. EU4 has needed a UI cleanup for a couple of years now. Don't get excited about them doing anything for Hearts of Iron 4 anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, this one really does need a UI cleanup as well.
Gardez vos rangs.
How are we doing for equipment? So we are still incredibly short on motorized. Everything else we're kind of okay on. This is one of the changes I like. I just got rid of all the notifications. You can just right click on this and it basically says, okay, any decisions which are currently throwing up a notification, we just ignore them. It's quite nice. So I don't need to keep checking going, why can I do 23 things? Oh, it's a parade. Well, I think the next fight should then be against the British. Though they are quite far ahead of me in very, very many things. How's the refitting going of the subs? Slowly. I need a lot more dockyards. But I think that is what I need to start preparing for, is the war against Britain. Ah, colonial industry. Here we go. Pretty sure that's a much lower number now. Am I not getting the investments working because they're collaborationists now? Oh, that stinks. We should focus on our industries in the colonies. Should tensions increase in Europe, we will still have the industrial capacity to... outside of the reach of enemy bombers.
Aux ordres.
And I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to start shifting production to just a few dockyards once the civvies are done. I actually feel like I need them more than the militaries right now. We are building a lot of civvies, which is good. The occupation thing is, once Spain starts going against the Soviets as a puppet, the Soviets basically demand a portion of territory which is going to be under their direct control, so that they can basically keep an eye on the rest of Spain. That's what this is representing. It's like the destroyers for bases that Britain and the US do, where the Caribbean just gets given to the US, even though historically it was just the bases that were given, as opposed to the entire islands. It's the same thing. This is basically just a Soviet military zone, but the way that this game represents that is by ceding it to the Soviet Union, even though it's probably just Soviet bases. I think that we would need to really double down on the number of fighters, because we're... Ooh, I say. I'm just going to start building transport planes, just low-key in the background. And some more motorized, I guess. No, you know what I need? Medium tanks. Haven't built any of them yet. Because I want to start switching out the light tanks for mediums. Now I'm short on rubber. Oh, French East Indies. Why are you still called Dutch East Indies here? It's weird. In fact, I bet British Malaya is not called British Malaya anymore either. Oh, maybe it is. Even though it's actually independent. Oh, no, it's not. Britain got it back. It's their one puppet. The one loyal puppet. Hey, Dundalk Zoni. We have so far taken out Belgium and the Netherlands. But Germany is a monarchy, Austria-Hungary is a monarchy, Romania is a monarchy, Spain unfortunately isn't, Britain's an absolute monarchy. So this is definitely a very monarchist-centric game so far. The Clears, thank you very much for the follow, welcome to the channel. Would medium tanks be better at suppression than armoured cars? Possibly, but armoured cars are going to be a lot cheaper. Generally, armoured cars are the best, like, cost ratio for suppression. Wow, that question keeps on coming up now. I'll let chat handle it. Zog submits to Italy. An ultimatum has been delivered to the Albanian government by the Italian diplomats demanding that they submit to complete military occupation. So, does Italy have a focus on me? Yes. They can only do it after Albania, so they can start doing Italy first, and then they can go after either me or Britain. Be interesting to see which they choose. Oh, and if we're going to be starting to do a naval build-up against the British, we are going to need to start getting naval doctrines too. Once we've got colonial industry, we can get the National Research Centre. And then we'll do the military factories, which is going to be a massive boost to our production. Not to mention once our civilian factories start switching to dockyards and military factories too. Enigmatic Rose, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. What were you just playing? Rose Raid! Hello. Welcome to the Imperial worldview of the Emperor Napoleon. Napoleon VI, Lord of the French Empire, the Belgians and the Dutch, and also the French East Indies, which we've just taken. Despite the fact it's still orange. Blah. It is still 1940. There is an artillery upgrade at this stage. Oh, you know what else there is? Ship upgrades. I do want to get the 1940 destroy... Do I want 1940 destroyers? Actually, no, I don't. I want 1940 close air support. Checking out the car list in Spain, then tested out some community multiplayer. Aha. Hey, good go. Yeah, I was playing as the car list yesterday. I had massive problems with resistance. In fact, any smaller country seems to have really big problems with the resistance. They seem to be getting better at it. Like the resistance in Belgium and the Netherlands are contained pretty quickly. But still, issues. Spain declared war on the Soviet Union. Gutsy. Very, very gutsy. But then again, Japan's also at war with the Soviets. Oh, Manchukuo. Have you split out yet? No. Spanish Independence War. In recent months, Soviet-Spanish relations have become increasingly strained, and independent observers have noticed a systematic removal of communists from the Spanish positions of influence. In response, the Soviet Union has created a direct occupation zone in the east of the country, attempting to bring the recalcitrant Spanish government to heel. Now, the situation has come to a head, with Manuel Azana making an impassioned broadcast declaring Spanish independence and rallying his countrymen to rid the nation of the Soviet influence once and for all. At the same time, a major Spanish surprise attack on the occupation zone has begun, out of the frying pan and into the fire. I do wonder if there's a white peace situation. If Spain manages to retake the whole of Spain, if there's an enforced white peace, probably. I can't imagine that Spain's expected to take down the whole Soviet Union. What are my spies doing? One of them is spying on Britain, one of them is quashing resistance in the Benelux. Am I going to do rearmament next? Yes. I feel like I need to. Dylan the Rel, or Dylan the Rel, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Alright, colonial industry is done. So now we're going to switch to research, then military factories, then armament. Promising young minds are popping up everywhere. We need to supply them with facilities to conduct their research. Advances in technology can give us the edge when we most need it. We gained another 5 military factories. I'm getting military factories every time we do one of these focuses. Huzzah! That's supposed to be civilian factories. You just saw that. I got 5 more military factories when that focus finished. Huzzah! Well, alright then. I'm not going to complain. What do we need? We need more artillery, we need lots more motorized, we need lots more medium tanks. So we're going to do this, then we're going to do this, then we're going to do this. And we're also going to buy in some more tungsten. From... Oh, that's steel. Tungsten, we'll keep buying it from Portugal. Portugal are good buddies. Hakon Longbeard showing the generosity today. Thank you very much for that, Hakon. Like the Moon and Dominic Laudat. Congratulations on the gifted subs, courtesy of Hakon. Thank you. Lower the law in Belgium for better compliance. Only if their resistance is dealt with. Oh, wait, no, I'm not doing this right now. I have a different thing I need to do. I need to beat the Dutch into compliance. The Dutch, too, were once part of the French Empire. Now they have been defeated, it is time to return this natural state of affairs. Then we'll do the science. Resistance is down to 6. We can probably drop it 1. Military governor.